this, right? All right.
When is our vocab quiz going to be on chapter 1?
Oh, that's a great question. Great question. I'm glad you asked that. I wish you had been here to ask me that last block. Although you sent me an email, it should have been sufficient. Why not tomorrow, you know? Because they haven't given them that much to do. Okay. All right, here we go. Solid. Solid has definite shape and definite volume. Definite shape and volume. All right, now, I'm going to show you state changes of matter. Yes, of course, Matt. Yes, of course. All right, now, this is your liquid, and liquids have what? Definite shape, volume, or what? Look at this graduated cylinder. What's the shape of the water? It's the shape of the container, right? So the shape, it doesn't really have a definite shape. It's got an indefinite shape. But if I pour this 40 milliliters into another container, how many milliliters is it going to be? 40 milliliters. So the volume is definite, which means it's not going to change. Right. And then finally, gas. Gas, definite or indefinite shape? Indefinite. This is, everything is indefinite. Indefinite means it's not fixed, it's not specific. Indefinite shape and volume. And gases are compressible. All right, now, think about a solid. Think about solid, let's say water. Isaiah, what do you call solid water? Yes. Yes, you do. All right. What happens when you take your solid water, ice, and make it into liquid water? What is that process called? Melting. Okay, so solid to liquid, you know, is called melting. What's the opposite of melting? Freezing. Very good. All right. If we're talking about water, what temperature does that happen at? In Celsius. When does that happen? 0. So that happens at 0 degrees Celsius if we're talking about water. Okay? Now, liquid going to gas. Look at this picture in the textbook right here. Oops. This picture right here. What's happening to that water? It's boiling. What's the temperature in degrees Celsius? 100 degrees Celsius. Good, Cole. All right, so this is called boiling. Now, what's the opposite of boiling? All right, let me, before you answer this question, Isaiah, let's say you go to the QT, you get your cold drink, it's a hot day, you've got all your, you know, that yummy crushed ice that they put in there, all right? Here's your cold drink. What happens when you go outside? What happens to this container? Condensation. Well, the ice does melt in there. You get this wet layer right here, and where does that wet layer come from? It's from the water molecules and the air that are doing what? Changing from gas into a liquid because the container has a cold surface, and that's called condensation. When else do you see condensation besides on your cold glass? What's that?
When you're boiling water, can you put the top, like the lid on?
Yes. The top of your pan of boiling water, if you lift it up, you look at the bottom side, it's going to be wet. How about the dew on the grass? Yeah, that's good condensation. That's good condensation. A lot of times, yeah. Yes, you see the steam, and then the steam is, you're actually seeing the water droplets as they rise back into the atmosphere. Okay, next, solid going to gas and gas going to solid. This is the one that we're not very familiar with. This happens when you have dry ice. Did you know that dry ice is actually solid carbon dioxide? Okay, when you see that dry ice, what happens to that dry ice? What does it do? Yeah, we kind of say it smokes, but it's really just it's really the gas, okay, or the vapor around the dry ice, and that process of going from solid to a gas is called sublimation. And the opposite of that is called deposition. Sublimation and deposition. What's the root word of deposition? Deposit. Deposit. The gas is depositing back into a solid. Deposition. A deposition is gas to a solid, and then sublimation